the new laws take effect today in New York. And they said that over 1,500 applications have been filed since June 1st, and big surges in Suffolk County, Erie County, and Western New York. And they were kind of making fun of, law-abiding gun owners and all this stuff, and, saying that, this is not the Wild West, et cetera, et cetera. They've had these Department of Transportation trucks driving around the city near Times Square in Midtown with the flashing yellow signs saying this is going to be a gun-free zone. They've been posting gun-free zone signs all around because they said there's going to be a number of places where we're not going to allow it. It's kind of nutty to see some of this. Also, they put up a map where they show all of the gun-free signs posted, and they said that they're marked with a little gun symbol. So they literally provide a little map for you, not for you, but for the criminals to let them know where they can go to prey on people. And it's like, this is our gun-free zone sign. It's right by Bryant Park. It's right there, Midtown. Goes over, all Times Square. It's I think between 39th and it goes from 40th to 53rd, and this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's just a map. Do you think that honestly criminals are going to be like, wait a minute, let me stop here. This map says I can't bring my gun in here. Guess I'm not going to bring my because I can't bring my gun in here. Let's see, I'm about ready to I'm going south. I'm about ready to cross into the gun-free zone area. I guess I got to find a place. I guess I got to go back home, put it there. You think honestly criminals are going to have this? No, they're not. And the crazy thing is Hochul and Adams, they keep saying, yeah, we're gonna do this door-to-door stuff for permits if you get and all that. But NYPD, they said that we don't have any additional resources to actually enforce this stuff. They said that, Adams said that police officers will employ, quote, good old-fashioned methods of investigation. They're going to knock on neighbors' doors as part of a background check requirements on potential gun permit holders for that safety law. And all of this, all the people who's seeking concealed carry that couldn't get it before, all that takes effect for them today. So that's why so many people are applying. Now, NYPD, they said that they can't add additional officers to enforce new rules right off the bat. And they said that, this is going to be kind of stressful on our resources currently. Remember, Democrats wanted to defund everything except the FBI and IRS. And then now I guess this is wild. Now, Hochul was saying that she wanted, because she obviously wanted more than just what they were getting. But they act like all the crime. She tweeted, she goes, keeping New Yorkers safe is my top priority. Starting tomorrow, this is yesterday, concealed weapons will no longer be permitted on subways and bars and in the following sensitive locations. Public demonstrations and rallies everywhere, basically. It's all a joke. Here's why it's a joke. 80% of repeat offenders who are arrested on subsequent felony gun charges are allowed to walk. True story. This is from their own police data. More than 80% of perpetrators in illegal possession were put back on the streets after they were busted for gun possession in New York, illegal possession, earlier this year. Over 2,386 people, actually 2,386 people, this was from last month, were arrested with a firearm. They said that there's, that was the stats from last month, not just all the offenses within a month. They said that gun arrests in custody, 19.5%, out of custody, over 80%. They said that the vast majority are arrested with a second firearms charge. I mean, and they had a New York City special narcotics prosecutor. He was saying that, about 80% of the people arrested for firearm arrest are back out on the street because of their bail reform law that took place in 2019. It was super controversial. And it was responsible for allowing some of these, like if you committed assault, like violent offenders back out on the street to reoffend. There have been people who've been killed because these people have been allowed to get back on the street. Yeah, and as Kane noted, that's even above the average recidivism rate. It is. Also, apparently, just from 2019, they said a ton of people that were arrested in shootings already had pending felony firearm possession charges because they were repeat offenders. That number increased 4 times by 4 times over. And of course, it's the same group of repeat offenders that are committing, they said, roughly the majority of the shootings that have taken place. I mean, it is something to behold. And that New York Post has stories on all of these people with all of these felony charges. Now, I'm not talking about, people who've never done anything wrong and a misdemeanor. I'm talking about people who've been in jail. They're already prohibited possessors by nature of previous felony convictions. They get out, they immediately reoffend. They are in illegal possession of a firearm, and usually it's like firearm and drug, firearm and gang. And then they, when they're charged, when they're arrested, they get to walk. Because remember, the bail reform, that's all about that restorative justice. That Soros stuff. They said that New York Police Department said they have neighborhood safety teams. They've made numerous firearms arrests. New York Post was only able to get records. They had 30 cases out of for 12 of them. And of the 12 that the New York Post was able to get, only one guy actually went to jail. 11 of the defendants were immediately released back on the street. Cut loose with no bail, New York Post reports. One of them, by the way, they said was one of those who walked, Tyquise Bell, 23. He was nabbed by their neighborhood safety team. It's their anti-gun team. That's what they're supposed to do. It's their anti-gun unit. They said that he was able to walk even after he had a Taurus pistol inside of the lower leg of his pants. And he was already a repeat offender. He wasn't supposed to have it. It's a felony charge. And he was able to walk right out. And they said that this is one of the things that NYPD said is that it lacks judges and bail reform. Now you have Kathy Hochul and Eric Adams doing all of this posturing. We're going to ban guns in these areas. They never say anything about the criminals. They're always about, it's like the Wild West, these people applying for guns, gun permits. These are not the people causing the issue, increasing the crime. These are not the people doing this. Hochul apparently only cares about these violent repeat offenders, not the law-abiding who are going to be victimized several times over from this. You have all these people who are allowed to walk free from felony charges. The only people who are going to look at this and obey it will be law-abiding people. The people that are getting preyed on by these repeat offenders. I mean, the data is all here. It's all public. It's not like this is hidden. It takes 2 seconds to find it. I mean, if you want to do a deep dive even, you can go, especially the felony charges. Those are listed on the crime reports. It's all a part of the National Crime Information Center. All this data is collected. It's just amazing that they don't even touch on this when they're lecturing people about obtaining firearm permits. And so 80%, think about that. That and their lax bail reform, this is not going to do a single thing. This is a joke.